Welcome everyone to The New Fly Fisher. I'm your host, Colin McKeown. This week, we experienced wilderness fly-in fishing on a budget. Lauzon Air Service in Northern Ontario has numerous outposts with bass and trout fishing available, which is perfect for anglers. Come join Bill and I on our excellent adventure in Algoma Country. In this episode, we're traveling to Algoma Country in Northern Ontario. This region is blessed with fantastic wilderness fishing for all types of species. Bill and I have booked a do-it-yourself trip to one location in Northern Ontario that is very affordable for anglers. We'll be flying with Lauzon Air, located at Lake Lauzon, approximately halfway between Sudbury and Sault Ste. Marie on Highway 17. The air service offers a choice of 8 different remote destinations to fish. Species that you can choose from are pike, lake trout, rainbow trout, brook trout, and smallmouth and even largemouth bass. It is September and the weather is hot, but our hopes are high for some great fishing action. Our first part of the trip will be at Robb Lake, which possesses a fantastic fishery of lake and rainbow trout, plus the bonus of brook trout in the local streams.
Now we've just started and Colin and I aren't actually fishing yet. What we're doing is we're doing some recon here just to figure out what's going on. I've got a map of all the different depths. Colin has a sonar and we're going and checking it out ourselves. We've come across a really nice beaver lodge and an entrance to the creek, and we see all sorts of bait fish. So we're figuring this is where the action's going to be later on. I want to adjust how deep I'm going to be fishing, and these indicators, these slip indicators, you can adjust them up and down. And the way you do it is they're threaded both through the middle. You take your line, you push it together like that, and then push the peg in, and you'll see you got a loop here. And what happens when the fish hits and the indicator goes under, you set the hook, it opens up, and the indicator goes right down to the fly. This allows you to fish your balanced leech down 15, even 20 feet.
So what we did is, oh no, I lost him. So what we did is we had driven around a bit with the fish finder looking for the bait fish. We found some, and more importantly, we marked some big fish. And so Bill and I just threw our indicator rigs out, and I don't think we've been here 5 minutes, and I just lost a fish, and it was going.
We've been moving around looking for actual structure, which is the first thing you do whenever you're on a lake. Fish will great eat to structure, but in this lake we don't have much structure. So what we've been doing is following the bait, and with the sonar that we have, which is invaluable, we are able to find big balls of bait, and around the bait is the fish.
Well, don't know what I've got, but we just got to this location. I lost a fish earlier, and Phil and I went to indicators. Get this guy in the reel, and set my indicator and my balanced leash. I'm using a black balanced sparkle leash. Oh, look at this. And cast it out. And we experimented a bit. That indicator just gave, that's good. I got this guy. We marked a lot of bait fish, but he took the leech. It's not a bad sized fish. Ah, sweet.
There we go.
It might be a lake trout.
That's a lake trout.
He took the
leech in the bottom.
He did.
How far down was that, Colin?
I had that set at 10 feet.
10 feet.
Beautiful fish. There he goes. Okay, that's not what we're looking for. There's rainbow trout and the brook trout are all in this lake, which is great. But catching a lake trout, even though that's not the targeted species, that's still pretty cool. Another beautiful day has emerged here at Robb Lake. Who wouldn't enjoy a hot coffee, watching the morning mist on the lake, and listening to the distant cry of loons? So I'm pretty excited. Beautiful day. We've had a great breakfast, Bill and I. And the cameraman and I thought, you know, why don't we go over to the Beaver Lodge and go downstream. We saw the nice little lake down below, which is supposedly full of brook trout, possibly rainbow. I was just about to paddle up onto the right here and start casting, and an otter popped its head up, looked right at me, and I went, oh no. You know what an otter means? He's in there for the same reason I want to fish there, because there's trout there. So they're probably spooked for a while. The otter took off up the lake. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull the canoe up here, and I'm going to go downriver and fish some of these ponds and see if we can have some luck finding the brook trout. Those are really small trout. See them? Is it a trout? It's a trout. So, just hooked our first trout in this little stream. Absolute jewel. Oh, he's off. Call these the crown jewels of the north. And in this little pocket water here, and the water is very cold. Here we are, early September. But I don't even care that it's only 6-7 inches long. There's big fish. I want to go back in that main lake. I bet there's some nice 14 to 18 inches to be caught. So as you can see, downstream, I've got a little pool here, and it looks like a bigger pool going another set of riffles. What I'm going to do is carefully come around the edges and cast. I just had a little 6-inch trout come up after my fly, but I think I might have to change. I've got my intermediate still on from up in the upper lake. I'll switch over to my floating line and maybe a smaller fly, more delicate presentation. Saw one. There we go. There's another beautiful little brook trout. I'd love to come back here in June or July. The water's higher. There'll be more brook trout. A little 3 or 4 weight rod. Be a nice thing to do for a day. Oh, look at the colors on this. We're trying to find the big ones. 3 or 4 pounds that are in the lake. Just take this out carefully. Look at that. Gorgeous. Got it. There we go. Now the brook trout here, there's gonna be big ones. And there's gonna be lots of little ones like this guy. I just had a bigger one. And I say big, it was 14 inches. Come up, take a shot at my fly. Oh, he's off. But that's the fun of coming into these back water areas. A big fish is gonna be 16, 18 inches. But most of them are gonna be in that 8 to 14 inches, which is great. Next up, I moved to another Lauzon Aviation destination, Hasty Lake, only this time we're after big smallmouth bass. The next Lauzon Aviation destination is Hasty Lake. I'm joined by one of my best friends, Eric Radgowski, who hails from Detroit. For the last 15 years or so, we've taken an annual fishing trip, and Northern Ontario is one of our favorite places to go. We started off fishing the usual waters that hold bass, concentrating on visible structure and using topwater presentations. The previous 3 weeks' weather had been hot and there had been no rain, leaving the water extremely warm in the shallows. It soon became apparent, after hours of only catching very small fish, that the larger predatory bass had moved off to deeper water. But the question is, when angling in deeper waters, is that there's no obvious structure. So where are the fish? How do you locate them? The birds were about to give us all the answers. So what we're doing, you can see all the seagulls. We've been watching patiently, and sure enough, the bass just started boiling the baitfish to the top here. There's half a dozen loons here and about 20 seagulls. We're out over about 50 or 60 feet of water, and we're expecting to find the bass along shorelines. This is a topwater lake, but because of the conditions, they're down deep. What we're looking for right now is these fish boiling on the top to get themselves away, pushing the baitfish up, and that's how we'll get them. All right, Eric. I'll get my line out of the way here.
Nice fish too. It's bigger than the last one. Oh goodness.
That's a big fish.
That's a big fish. You're putting them in the net, my friend.
So you're using a floating line with an intermediate head?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and what length of leader you got on?
About 3 foot of 8-pound fluorocarbon.
Well, that's a decent fish. Look at the muscle. Wow. And we've already lost one, and this lake is known for lots of 3 to 6 pound smallmouth. And usually you're catching them on surface, but they're out here because there's so much baitfish, and we think they're smelt. Because the last group that was in here was hooking them, and they're hooking them out in the open water like this. I just hope it goes calm, because then we can really spot them and get over to them quick and cast into them.
There he is, Colin. He's up on the surface.
All right, you can bring him over this way.
I will try.
Okay, lift your rod tip. Did you go by? Got him. Oh, nice. There's a nice heavy bass. Look at that. I know that's probably a solid 3, I would say.
Beautiful fish.
I don't have a measuring tape, but look at what he took. That's what's working. And look at that. That's what we've come here for. Now usually you're getting these, and this is probably, I'd say 2.5, 3.
Yeah.
But 2.5, good solid 2.5.
Beautiful
Much
fish.
Bigger fish. Look at the belly on him.
Nice.
He's feeding really well right now.
Very healthy looking fish too.
I'm gonna take him, get him over the side here for Eric. Some oxygen. Revive him. When he's ready, he'll go. There he goes.
Thank you very much, Colin.
First fish. Well done, Eric.
Lovely.
Eric, you're doing great.
It's pure luck, my friend.
Well, I know you say that. I'm gonna cast out around him though, because sometimes
You got one following it. You
Yeah.
betcha. He's like running at me. Oh wow.
Okay, when you're ready, this way. Oh, he did not like the look. This is just great fun.
And this is a riot.
And we've been here, what, 2 hours, 3
Maybe.
hours? This is
Yeah.
your third fish. Colin 0, Eric 3. And you understand we're in about 50 feet of water, and they're up in this top 20 feet eating smelt and cisco that are in the just above the thermocline. Oh, that's a nice fish, Eric. Okay. And you're just gonna put this right here. Just steer the head when you can. Don't rush it. I don't want you to lose this guy. Eric's got a barbless fly on, so it's important that he takes his time, because if he takes a good jump or turns the wrong way, it's gonna come out. And the water's still, it's actually cooled off a lot here. It's going down into the 50s at night.
I'm gonna bring him towards you, Colin.
Yeah, and it's in the low 70s during the day. That's a nice fish. That's a good solid 3.5 pound bass from what I can see. Okay.
No.
Oh. In the shoulder.
Sorry, my friend.
It's all right. So this is the fly Eric's using, and you can see why it's doing the trick. Fish on. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is a good one, too. Oh, look at this guy. Oh. You know what's so great about this? It's just not catching the fish. It's when you figure it out. When you put it all together and you go, okay, I know where these fish are, what they're doing, and why they're doing it. And this guy came up. I'm willing to bet you he was 5 to 10 feet down, and he came up. That fly was 2, maybe 3 feet away from the end of my rod tip. I was just about to pick it up and possibly change flies, and I saw him come up, and he grabbed it. Nice fish. Nice big fish. You want to grab that, Eric, for me?
I'm on it.
Okay. All right. And there we go. Oh, look at that. This is great. Ah, yes. Look at that. A nice big chunky bass.
It's just sister to the other fish you
Yeah.
just caught, Colin.
You know, so this is a 2.5 pounder, I'd say, 3 and change. Nice and fat. Not as heavy as the last one, but very healthy fish, very, very strong, and very, very aggressive, which is what I love. Is these guys are being super aggressive. And we'll let him go. There he goes. Watching birds to locate feeding fish is generally thought to be a saltwater plan of action. Nothing could be farther from the truth. Often, baitfish are driven to the surface by smallmouth bass, much like stripers and tuna do in the ocean. Smallmouth will work in teams to ball the baitfish and attack them tactically. Often they're dead and wounded baitfish that float to the surface. Diving loons and seagulls will tell you where baitfish are being attacked from below. As anglers, we have to watch for this activity on lakes, much like we watch birds to indicate a hatch happening on a river. When you find baitfish, you will find predatory fish, and usually birds like loons and seagulls. Oh, it's a nice fish. Wow. And we were just thinking we got out of the area where they were at, and I was just twitching this fly. I don't know, Eric. It's been a tough day. It's about 4 o'clock-ish. I think we'll get this fish in and go in and make some supper. Call it a day. What do you think?
I think so.
Oh,
Nice
yeah.
fish.
Strong. You can see that bass. Oh, it's a nice bass. Unfortunately, we didn't get the bass like we wanted on topwater. We really were hoping, and we came for that. That's what this lake is known for. Besides big smallmouth and largemouth, it's known for topwater action. But the fronts we've had and the cold, it's just been really tough conditions. So we've adapted and we figured it out. And every day, Eric, we've had to change our tactics virtually, haven't we? I mean, we're not stripping in the flies quickly because that would not work. not a huge fish, but would have loved to end the day with a 6-pounder because they're in here. Oh, bring them on over here. Oh, that's wonderful. Still a nice fish. I'd say that's a 17-incher. I'll just pop the fly. It's just, ooh, it's a good thing I got him. It's just in the corner of the mouth here. And that was going to come out pretty quickly. There's that big deceiver working. It's a nice fish. I'd say 16 to 17 inches. Real good fighters. Really good fighters. Oh, he's already ready to go. I hope you learned a lot about do-it-yourself fly fishing trips that are very economical, like Lauzon Air, where they've got all these remote outposts, and also learned about how you have to be versatile as a bass fisherman, because if you want to catch lots of fish, you've got to adapt to the conditions. From all of us here at the New Fly Fisher, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Hi, I'm Mark Melnick from the New Fly Fisher television show. If you enjoyed that video, do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe today. Also, we're uploading new videos all the time, so hit the bell to be notified when the next one goes up.